People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News. Now, the next thing that is popping in the news, I am going to speak about a couple of people as it pertains to the Donna-Lee missing, feared to be Murdered case. I am going to speak about the lawyers and what the lawyers for the suspect person supposed to be persons of interest as it pertains to Mr. Noel Maitland and also Cathy-Ann Smith. Pretty much the lawyers are claiming that, listen, Donna-Lee and Mr. Noel, they had a cordial relationship. No sorts of abuse, no sorts of fight, no sorts of trouble in paradise. As it pertains to Cathy-Ann and also Donna-Lee, same thing. One of them knows say, alright, we want the same man. However, we can coexist cordially like decent human beings. However, people, based on everything that we've heard so far, it is a polar opposite. So therefore, the theory that these lawyers, the theory that the ACP Assistant Commissioner of Paw Fitz-Bailey wants us to believe, it is the opposite of what everybody else that is actually in tune with what is going on is saying. The facts. Now I heard that a lawyer claims that he now has 2 witnesses that saw Donna-Lee leave the apartment of Noel Maitland. However, these same lawyers, I am speaking about Oswest Sr. and also Christopher Townsend, they don't believe anything that is factual in this case. Pretty much them believe the cow jump over the moon, based on their delusional theory that they're trying to sell to the public, meaning the court of public opinion, and also actually it seems as if that is what they are going to try to use in court. About 24 hours ago, I said that it seems as if these lawyers, the ACP, JCF detectives, they are trying to sell the theory that Donna-Lee kind of gets stressed out. Donna-Lee must have left the house being depressed, being suicidal, and walked all the way down to the waterfront and jump off. Or Donna-Lee buy some rope from some sorts of hardware store, find a tall tree, short rope, and do the do. Or Donna-Lee pretty much get mad, get amnesia, and just start walk around and kick stone. People, none of the theories that we've heard from the ACP, from the lawyers, from anybody, the detectives, makes any sorts of sense. It is irrational thinking. So the fact that a lawyer would actually come out and say him have 2 eyewitnesses, where are these eyewitnesses? We are going to need to see them. Is that talk? However, people, I am from the show me state, and I hope that you are too. We want to see that witness there. Because if there was no sorts of witness, or they don't believe there was any sorts of witness that saw Cathy-Ann went to the apartment in a Chelsea on that fateful day, hear any sorts of screaming when the mother say, yeah, the man come, meaning Noel, come by the house, and shake down the grill, act like him have warrant because he was calling Donna-Lee and she did not want to answer the phone. If they don't believe that the mother heard conversations and told the daughter, listen, you need to leave this man, you need to get out of this toxic relationship or you might lose your life. If them not believe that, how is it that they believe that 2 witnesses are going to come forward, or they have 2 witnesses? Are these 2 witnesses that have ulterior motive, meaning that they were paid to say what is in the best interests of Mr. Noel and also Mrs. Cathy Ann. And I don't mean Mrs. and Mr. respectfully. So people, that is that. When you think about the fact that we heard that interview that this lady, Constable Brown, from 100-man Popo station or 100-man Popo station said, she made it very clear that, listen, this is a big cover-up from top to bottom, meaning ACP Fitzbailey, meaning that Constant Spring Popo station. She told you that on that fateful night in which Cathy Ann strangled Donna-Lee, Noel and Cathy Ann had assistance from 5 other Popo from Constant Spring Popo station that forget everything about that they swore to serve and protect and do the right thing. They were at the apartment cleaning up. So people, we don't need no more evidence than that. We see all the facts. However, these corrupted Popo wants us to believe that don't believe anything that you see. Disregard anything that is polar opposite or is disadvantageous to these suspects, to these persons that are supposed to be at least persons of interest, and believe what we say, which is not factual, which never happened. So therefore, they want to make us be delusional just like them. Because people, it seems as if this is more than shame, this is more than black eye for the Popo them. And people, what is even more damning, this lady, Constable Brown, told Andre in the interview that, listen, Mr. Noel Maitland and ACP Fitzbailey, they are big friends. Them know where each other live, them hang out together, them drink together. People, do you need any more evidence than this? That this is the biggest corruption. And people, if when this is all over and said and done, these people still remain in the JCF, it just shows you the head of the state. We are talking about Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister, the head of the Popo. I am speaking about Commissioner Anthony Anderson. I am speaking about the Security Minister, the Justice Minister. If them allow this to happen and these people still remain, people, it tells us that these are 2 peas in a pod. Now people, there was an infamous voice note in the same interview, a next interview that was done by Andre once again, and kudos to Andre. He is doing a good job. Whoever is calling him, obviously, have the confidence in him. Obviously, they don't have the confidence in the regular news media. So therefore, they are exposing a whole bunch of things. And I am speaking about the person, the driver of this truck that we heard on that infamous video or audio. He made it seem as if he had no sorts of idea what was going on. He was just doing his job as a delivery man. Him pick up and him drop off. Him not ask any sorts of question. However, Mrs. Constable Brown, she shattered all of that theory. Because it is said that based on voice note, based on documents and evidence that she have with persons close to the case, meaning Constable Williams, who told her in confidence, listen, this man know everything. When he was told that, listen, this is a body that we're trying to get disposed of, he demanded much more money because people, it was more risky. So people, when we hear all of this stuff, compound with what we've already heard, do we have to ask any sorts of question? How is it that these ACP, Mr. Fitzbailey, and these other lawyers can have the sense of mind or lack of conscience, lack of sympathy, lack of heart for this young lady that went missing and their family, specifically the mother, for actually stand up and do a news conference? They should be ashamed. They should pretty much bury them head and go to the hell where they belong. Point blank and period. And people, as it pertains to that driver of that infamous voice note in which he said that him and Noel was discussing some sorts of couch in which he knew nothing about, because he actually probably delivered somebody wrapped up in some sort of sheet, some sort of garbage bag. He better realize that he is implicated. He is just as guilty as the rest of them. He is a part of this conspiracy to murder and cover up. And that van or delivery truck that he used, he has to realize that that van or delivery truck is now a part of evidence. It can be seized, it can be forfeited. So therefore, if him have any sorts of sense, him better save himself, or if he wants to go down with this sinking ship, because people, it is only a matter of time. It is inevitable. Justice will be served sooner or later. Them can do all sorts of delayed tactics. However, the people of Jamaica, the world, and just karma is not going to allow this lady to lose her life in vain in such a way at the hands of members of the Popo Force, JCF, Jamaica Constabulary Force, from head to the bottom, from top to the bottom, point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.